So today we wanted to cover Mephisto, and especially since we have the Wandavision series episode 8 coming by, we want to clear the air of who we think is going to be the main antagonist for the show. The first appearance of this man was the Silver Surfer number 3, and Stan Lee was obviously the creator and the writer for this character. They want to try to cast him as the Satan of the Marvel world, however, he is more of a demon of the Marvel world. Not lesser than Satan, but similar and different all in the same. And some people have actually believed, since they've retconned all of these different characters in the Marvel Universe, at one time he was, and one time he wasn't. He also goes by Mephistopheles, Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, and basically the devil. The man's abilities are on par or better than what Thanos had in the MCU with the Gauntlet. And the reason why we say this is because he has superhuman physical attributes. So we're talking about somebody who could probably go one-on-one without the Infinity Gauntlet against Thanos. We're talking about an intelligence for all of the mystic arts. He is on par, if not better, than Doctor Strange himself. He has immortality. He's an immortal being. You cannot destroy him completely. Just like Wolverine, he's going to keep coming back. Just like Deadpool, he's going to come back. And to some extent, it's even worse than those two characters. He also has lots of different magical powers at his disposal. He can change his appearance. He can change reality around the world that he's in. He can create mirror dimensions, pocket dimensions. He can also alter people's appearance and mess with their minds in ways that they go absolutely crazy. And he doesn't even need the penance stare to do those type of things to people. Now, in the Marvel landscape, Mephisto has actually been claiming to be created, along with many other demons, by the supreme being whose suicide resulted in the creation of the Marvel Universe, as well as the Infinity Gems. He also claimed that his total evil nature is because the supreme being did not choose to make him good, as that being had no actual concept of it. So when the universe was created, it was one singular being that essentially exploded, and they're saying that the being actually committed suicide. We're presuming out of just sheer loneliness. Mephisto actually becomes a little teased that he does not have the ability to be good, that he never had the chance to actually be good, and therefore it actually triggers his abilities as a demon. And many times, just like Doctor Doom, Mephisto is on the sidelines trying to usurp power. He tried to usurp the Beyonder's power, he tried to usurp the Silver Surfer's power, and many other beings out there, as well as Thanos trying to take the Infinity Gauntlet from him in the comic book series. This character has been in many Marvel characters' worlds. Talk to Aunt May in exchange for healing. He heals Aunt May. In Vision's world, he helped create his 2 sons, which aren't really his sons, they are fragments of Mephisto's soul. Hawkeye was actually used by Mephisto at some point, as well as Master Pandemonium. Even Scarlet Witch has been abused and used by this villain of villains. He's even had cameos and fights with the legendary Thor. So we can honestly say for a fact that this character has been in Marvel a lot more, maybe even than Thanos, over the years. Even brief appearances with Deadpool, X Factor, and even Strong Guy has been involved with this devil of a Marvel character. And right now, we're having an issue where Disney doesn't really know what they're going to do with Mephisto because apparently China has a problem with it. But we hope Disney makes the right choice and casts a really good character in Mephisto. And it would be really fun to find out if a lot of the Hydra ideologies were basically mainstays of what Mephisto had created into the world. That he had pushed the envelope with human beings so much so that we are going to go into this world now where there are mutants and there is hatred for mutants, and Mephisto is the driving force. Maybe Mephisto is the person who puts it all together for Hydra. That would be interesting to see play out. We'd like to see what Agatha Harkness has anything to do with what Mephisto is doing, or vice versa. We think Shuma-Gorrath is an actual option at this point, maybe even Nightmare. But right now, we think the best person that you could bring into the MCU right now would be Mephisto. Just to put you in context of what Mephisto is, he is considered the world's first mutant. Yes, even beyond Namor. That's just what the mutants themselves know. When they preach that in the X-Men movie, that Namor, the Submariner, is actually the oldest in the Marvel Universe as a mutant, that is incorrect. The number one person is actually Mephisto. He is the first overall mutant of the whole entire Marvel Universe. But what do you think is going to happen in the Scarlet Witch and Vision show? Is this going to be something where Mephisto shows up in this 8th episode? Are we going to be able to see what Agatha is overlapping in this storyline? Is she controlling the barrier? Is she controlling Wanda? Is Pietro actually a person or even a totem for this witch? In some leaks that we're getting out right now, they're saying that Pietro's actually going to team up with Monica Rambeau, and we'd like to see that, see if that happens. Snooper's gonna snoop. The Halloween episode we'd like to mention in particular was done wonderfully. We have watched that over and over. That was terrific. You were able to see Vision in his glorious first outfit of the Marvel Universe for him. And we got to see Wanda in her outfit. And it was actually pretty good to see that outfit on her as their original form at what we saw out of the Stan Lee comics. And just to give everyone the idea of how popular this villain for Marvel is anyway, Mephisto appears in a stage boss for the Silver Surfer video game. He appears as a secret character in a game of the Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter game. He also has a palette swap of Blackheart. Mephisto's voice is heard in bonus missions of the 2005 Fantastic Four video game. Mephisto appears as a boss in the game Marvel Ultimate Alliance. He also appears in the Ghost Rider video game. He also appears in the ending of Morgan Aslan in the video game Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds. He appears in the Ghost Rider ending in the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He's a featured boss in the Facebook game Marvel Avengers Alliance. Featured as a champion in the mobile game Marvel Contest of Champions. So this man has been underlying and secretly in wait this whole entire time. Now, does Wandavision get this gigantic of a character? We certainly hope, because somebody's got to bring him in. We'd like to see this character hit the big screen some way, shape, or form. And honestly, if we don't see him here, we'll probably see either Shuma-Gorrath or Nightmare being brought out probably towards the end of Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, which we think is also going to be a terrific movie as well. We can't wait to see that one. But what do you think? Do you think that Mephisto is going to show up and steal the show? Is it going to be Shuma-Gorrath? Is it going to actually be somebody we didn't ever think of? Or is Agatha Harkness the total before all everything in this episode? Anyway, you guys have a wonderful afternoon, evening, or good night, whichever. Please like, share, and subscribe. We really do appreciate that. Also, leave a comment down below. Tell us what you think. Is Mephisto going to be showing up in this show?